In Sweden, it is not the government that issues permits, but rather the police issue the permit to demonstrate. And at the same time, the police is there to protect our right of freedom of speech. And this is a tricky concept because freedom of speech actually gives you the right to state your thought, regardless of how distasteful it is. But it is important to note here that the police have actually started to retry this matter in court to determine whether it is freedom of speech or if it is hate speech. I don't think that the party has shifted to right at all. I think that during Stefan Löfven's government, he shared the Social Democratic Party shared political power, governmental power with the Green Party, and had budget agreements with two liberal parties, which of course then entailed compromise, enabled to move forward. However, since Magdalena has taken over at the end of the last year and the Green Party has left the government, it is of course easier to act as a social democratic government. But when we adapt the budget, again, there's the question of majority in parliament, which we don't have. And in order to adapt the budget and move forward politically, we will have to make compromises again. But if you look purely at the political, at the politics of the party, I would not say that we have moved right at all. Well, of course, I mean, their goal is to show that we cannot live together in a welfare society. So when they can take us on the politics, they go personal. And of course, female politicians of the left side are more targeted than their male counterparts, and they are trying to discredit you as a person by digging up trash and using it as you personally. The Swedish society is a strong and a peaceful society where we have a tradition of solving our issues through dialogue and not through funeral. However, the Eastern Day have shown again that there are organized forces who are working very hard on breaking down democracy and dignity. But we will come out of this. We will learn from this. We will deal with this. And this will strengthen us as a society. And we will come out of this much stronger.
To understand the burning of the Qurans, you have to put it in the political context. And in Sweden, we had a lot of rise of far-right extremism in the past 15 years and even more. And so this is just a result of the anti-Muslim racism that already exists in the society. And so the guy who's been burning the Quran has been doing it for the past 2 years, so it's nothing new. And we had other types of hate crimes as well and engaging in Sweden, such as hate crimes against Muslim women in headscarf and hate crimes against mosques and so on. So you have to put that in a political context and the environment in the society Sweden as a whole. So understanding the political context in Sweden, then you might understand why some people would like to burn the Quran. The general feeling and the Muslim community in Sweden, and especially the Muslim youth, is that they are outraged by the police allowing this guy for burning the Quran. And so a lot of people are upset, and a lot of Swedish Muslims are also upset regarding the allowing of him burning the Quran. So there's a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, but mainly a lot of people are upset. Somehow it was kind of expected, but at the same time, the riots that occurred after the Quran burnings were simultaneously a bit shocking. And we don't know actually the reasons behind, the motives behind the riots. Some people say that it has to do with the Quran burnings, but other people saying that it were youth having conflict with the police authorities, and that occurred to the riots. So of course people condemn the riots and it's not productive to actually assault police officers or their cars. But at the same time, the police authorities should not have allowed him to burn the Quran in neighborhoods that predominantly Muslim inhabitants. Well, the Swedish authorities are using free speech as an argument for allowing him to burn the Quran, but we have to understand and put this also in a historical context. In the 1920s in Germany, before the Holocaust, the Nazi regime used to burn Jewish literature and Jewish books and to advance their politics. Also, if we don't have to go that far back in history, we can look at in Bosnia in mid-90s, where Serbian fascists used to burn Bosnian literature and used to bomb actually libraries. So this is a part of dehumanization and a minority group, in this case Swedish Muslims. So of course it's really upsetting, and I would hope that the Swedish authorities had this historical and political context in mind when they're actually allowing him to burn the Quran in such neighborhoods in Sweden.
It was a tragic and rugged time. Many police officers injured and many cars burned and damaged. It has given a bad picture of Sweden. We do not know who is behind this violence and who is manipulating. On the other hand, letting pyromaniac burn the Holy Quran and spread hatred and disorder is absurd and irresponsible. I personally witnessed the Quran burning here in Sharholmen in December, and I remember how hurtful and suffering it was. Many Muslims contact us on the big mosque in Stockholm, and describe how deeply hurtful and provocative to burn the Holy Quran. The Quran is sacred in Islam, is the word of God. Burning the Quran therefore becomes enormously hurtful for us Muslims. Muslim organizations have repeatedly appealed to stop the extremists who burn the Quran for 2 years and cause suffering for millions of Muslims. We have warned of the risk of escalation and the negative consequences that could affect the society and Sweden. I hope that now all good forces gather for Sweden's best. In Sweden we have opportunities to protest and to influence.